Yo, what up? I got a suit now. Only busting it out for special occasions is not something too frequent. But hey, 2 year anniversary. That's nuts. So, I once again have no script for this because why would I be professional and have something set up? So I just set up a script in my mind for a week and figure out what I do from there. So, shoot. So, first, obviously, the way it's going to play out. A reflection of 2021 as a year of creating content the past year, and some ups, thank yous, and then some things coming out in the future. So obviously last year was very all over the place. I took a big break. I'm not proud of that, but at the very least, I am proud of the fact that I felt like compared to the year prior, I put out some really good stuff last year. Like, I'm obviously looking at the list. Gnosia, I was really proud of that one. That still is one of my favorite gags that I've made so far. So let's see, the Balan Wonderworld videos, I'm still very proud of those, especially the actual review that I did, the 22-minute one. Though, still nice that I occasionally get feedback on the Nights in the Dreams one as well. Obviously, World's End Club, I did not shut up about World's End Club. That was like 3 different times. And the Knight's Journey of Dreams video, which I'm glad that before I went and vanished for 7 months, I left on a good video because I especially enjoyed working on the Knight's Journey of Dreams video. I was very proud of that one. And then I took the time off, obviously, and I'm not proud of that. But since coming back, I feel like I've put out bangers. Like this is the Obama meme, me putting a medal on myself. But like, for one, the introducing this avatar has been really nice. It's let me do a few more visually stimulating things in the videos, a couple of gags, and I've just been really proud of the videos I put out. The Kogan one was a good return to form, even if recording that was a nightmare. The Project Sekai one was very big, very informative, and already outdated because they included 1-2 Fan Club into the game, so did I will that into being? Maybe. And then the Galaxy Express one was one that one I've had planned forever, and it turned out so much better than I could have hoped. And I'm glad that it's been getting, obviously it hasn't like blown up. YouTube algorithm works in mysterious ways, and Galaxy Express isn't exactly going to be busting out thousands of views. But I'm glad that it seemed people have enjoyed that one, it seems, and I'm glad because that's a topic that I wanted to cover for a very long time. I do want to say, obviously, thank you for watching, if you're watching this, and thank you for that. And if you've been around for the other stuff, especially thank you. I forget if I mentioned this last time, but I have noticed plenty of familiar faces in the comments. And even still, it's just nice seeing people's thoughts on like the topic in hand. And man, it's just really nice seeing people talk about this stuff. Also, instant boost of serotonin while I'm at work. And I've obviously my stuff isn't necessarily designed for growth. I'm not quite sure what my aim is. Actually, I don't know why I'm guessing that. My aim is to make stuff that I would want to watch, stuff that I like making. And I'm glad that there are people who want to sit here and watch that too, even if this doesn't necessarily equate to like channel growth or anything. Which, doesn't say, obviously, like, comment, subscribe, the YouTube shill thing. But it's nice that there are people who hang around, even though I know a lot of people here don't have the same rotating interests that I do. I can't imagine there's a lot of overlap between Project Diva fans and Galaxy Express games, for instance. But I'm glad that there are people who are hanging around and checking out other stuff, and I can introduce some things. And, that's great. It's not presumptuous to celebrate 550 subscribers before it happens, because currently sitting at 548. But thank you if you have, and it's like, man, it's just so weird. It's weird, and I mean that in the nicest way possible. That, like, there are people who hang around and come back and watch this stuff. I'm awful. I need to write a script, but I don't. So you're stuck with me. You're stuck with me stammering. But thank you again. As for this is the part where I do. This is the part where I do funny stuff where I talk about what's coming in the future, or what might come in the future. I remember I did this last year, and I think of the 3 games I mentioned, I only did videos on one of them, and that would be World's End Club, which I talked about 3 times. So these are all things that I've had in mind that I want to try to do something with in the future, but aren't necessarily set in stone. They're all like sliding scales of, well, maybe this will happen, or maybe I won't, or maybe they'll be really far down the line. So let's see. First things first, obviously, the Insomnia Files Nirvana Initiative is coming out in a couple months. I'm so excited for that game. It's gonna be so good. Fun fact, that actually got announced. Not the trailer, but the initial teaser site for it was announced while I was recording the Night's Journey of Dreams video. So there's just like a good 20 minutes where nothing happens in the raw recording because I'm too busy yelling on Discord to other people. It's so funny. But that video is gonna be. That's like the only one on here that I'm like definitively this year I'm gonna make a video on that because I can't resist. I can't not shut up about Somnia Files. So I don't. That's not gonna come out like right after the game comes out because obviously I need time to play it, and I work a job, so I can't just like take a week off and burn through the entire game as much as I'd like to. And you know, if I were to try and get it within the same 2-week period, that would require a lot of work that I'm not prepared to do with how I do my stuff. So that'll probably be the earliest a month after the game comes out, which would be late July, early August. But I'm definitely gonna do that one. That one's certainly on the docket. Besides that, while on the topic of Uchikoshi games, Zero Escape is something I want to do at some point. I want to do a retrospective on. It would be a 3-part thing where I do retrospects on the entire trilogy. Obviously, recent developments, the Xbox port of the non games literally got announced yesterday as I'm recording this. So that changes things. Not much, but it'll help with recording, especially if Zero Time gets on there. And it'll be a good opportunity to shill Zero Escape at some point. Obviously, I don't know when I want to do that, but I want to at some point because I feel like I've alluded to Zero Escape long enough. On the topic of retrospectives and keeping it into visual novels I've played before, Science Adventure, I want to do a. This one's a really big thing that I had thought of a while ago, and it's going to take a lot of work to do it. But I want to do a retrospective of all the Science Adventure games, especially since last week they finally announced the Chaos Head localization, which is a really long time coming, and I'm super excited for that game too. But I want to do a video on all those, but that one's going to be a lot of work because I want to talk about everything. Like even not counting the spin-offs, it'd be like Chaos Head Anime, Steins Gate Anime, Steins Gate Elite, Robotics Notes Elite, Robotics Notes Anime, Chaos Head Chaos Child Anime, Steins Gate Zero, or Steins Gate Zero Anime, Steins Gate Zero Game, Steins Gate Zero Elite if I want to try and future-proof that, Robotics Notes Dash. That's a lot of stuff, and that would be a really big undertaking. But I want to do that at some point because, man, I alluded to Science Adventure like way back. That was like the second video I did on this, jeez. And obviously I'll do a part 2 on that some point, maybe. Or just remake the whole thing, probably, is what it's more likely to happen. But I do want to talk about the rest of the Science Adventure games, but that would be a very big undertaking. But not as big as the other thing that I thought about recently, because I've been on a Human Echo kick recently. I want to reread Human Echo at some point, because it's been, 5 years since I've read that. And, you know, that game's really good. I want to reread it. But I thought, hey, wouldn't it be a good idea to like do a retrospective on all of that? And wouldn't it be crazy if I were to do that episode by episode? And that would be 8 videos talking about Human Echo, and that would be a massive undertaking because that game is long, like really long. And then that'd be like, shoot, 4 months worth of content. That'd be nuts. But I want to do that at some point because I love Human Echo, and maybe I can cross that over to. I need to I need to actually properly read Higurashi. That's something I haven't done yet. Maybe I can do something like that for Higurashi for those 8 chapters, and maybe by doing that I can will Kikonia into existence because Phase 2 win. Besides that, something else I want to do, or something that this isn't really something else I wanted to. How do I want to explain this? Anime games. I want to talk more about not anime, not singular anime games, but like groups of anime games, like what I did with Galaxy Express, because I really enjoyed making that, and I feel like a big variety thing in just anime games, weird anime games based on franchises, would be very interesting stuff to make. Obviously, I already alluded to it in the Galaxy Express video, but Lupin the Third has a ton of video games, and there's some interesting stuff in there as well. Like there's the Laserdisc game, there's like 3 PlayStation 2 games, there's an arcade game that's like a really really old arcade game. There's interesting stuff in there, but obviously that would be a very massive undertaking to do. But that's something I would like to try and tackle at some point. Same thing with Detective Conan games. I probably have to split that into parts. There's way too many of those, but I'd like to talk about some of those at some point. And then there's some other weirder stuff, like did you know there were 2 Kaiji games? And games, plural, there's more than one. But yeah, Gambling Apocalypse Kaiji has a couple video games. That'd be interesting to see. If there's ever fan translations, the Death Note games sound pretty interesting. And just stuff like that, because I watch anime. I'm a weeb. I do that, in case you couldn't tell. But that would be, I feel like that'd be interesting to see. Something else, I mentioned Detective Conan earlier, and this is an idea that, again, this is something I just kind of toyed around with. I'm talking like big projects and not like individual stuff for reasons. But I wanted, something I did a couple of years back was I tried doing a big, I'm going to watch everything in Detective Conan, and I'm going to chronicle it on Twitter. Some people who followed me there probably remember that. It did not pan out, because it turns out, wait a minute, I didn't want to watch all of Detective Conan. I just wanted to watch Moonlight Sonata Murder Case. And I did, and it was awesome. But I have room in my brain for one really long manga series or anime. And instead of using it on One Piece like so many others do, I want to use that on Conan. But a way I think I can do that and have a lot of fun doing that, instead of doing like individual tweets so I have to focus on it while I'm watching it, I can try and do videos on that. So I would try doing like sort of like a book report or something, where it's like I break it down season by season, talk about some of the big plot developments and the overarching stuff, some of the cool filler cases, just stuff like that, just talking about Conan. Obviously, I don't know how feasible this is, not even in terms of length, but in terms of TMS being kind of stingy with copyright. And maybe I'd have to like circle around and use the manga for it, which would be a headache when talking about anime filler. But it's something I think I'd like to try doing at some point, and maybe it'd be interesting because I really like Detective Conan. It's a really good series. Besides that, Astro Striker Gunvolt is another series. I played all those games during the Great Big during the Great Big Break, plurals. All right, I did all that and I recorded it. That was actually a video I was trying to make back in August of last year, before I vanished for 4 more months, and it didn't pan out. I just kind of lost steam for it on the project, but I have a lot of footage for it already, and obviously Azure Striker Gunvolt 3 is coming out later this year, and that game's going to be pretty cool. Or hopefully, we need to see more of it. I'd like to I'd like to talk about that series. I probably need to redo this. I need to redo the script, obviously, because I had a full script ready for it and tried to future-proof that before the Kogan video, actually, and that didn't pan out either. But I'd have to probably redo most of the script. I'd have to add Luminous Avenger X2 in there. But I feel like that'd be interesting. That'd be a very in-depth video. And there's nothing else immediately coming to mind for individual projects. Obviously, there's a bunch of stuff that I've have in mind that I'd like to do. Like 428, that's one that I have in mind that I might want to try and do soon. But most of the stuff is that's a lot of stuff where I have an idea of what they would look like in my head, because obviously the way my brain works, anytime I'm playing a game, I'm thinking, how would a video script for this sound? Which, is something that's been a problem growing up on the internet for as long as I have, just thinking that way. But those are all things that I have ideas in my head how they would look like and how I would go about making them, which is why I brought attention to them. Obviously, there's a few other surprises in there. A few things that I have planned that I didn't mention. But, gotta keep people on their toes, because, I mean, I like that that's kind of my gimmick now. Or it feels like it's a gimmick to me, where it's just, I rotate my interests so frequently. You never really know what video is going to be next. And I hope people enjoy. I hope that anyone who decides to stick around enjoys getting, a weird variety of content. What's going to be next? I don't know. But I'll enjoy making it, and hopefully people will enjoy watching it. So shoot. 2 years, huh? I don't know if I've alluded to this before. I've tried making attempts at internet content multiple times throughout the past decade, including when I was way too young to be doing so. And usually, after the 1.5 year point, is when I just completely run out of steam and stop. And that almost happened this time, but I'm determined to make... I want to keep making stuff, because this is fun, and there's, tangible results coming from what I'm making here. And I just enjoy doing this, and I'm glad that after 2 years there are people who have stuck around and watched, and there are still people watching. So I'm going to keep making it. Hopefully won't vanish for another 7 months at any point. At worst case, it would be a month, as stated out in the update video. I want to try and do either 2 a month or at least 1 a month, failing that. But yeah, I'm gonna keep on going at it, and hopefully it's entertaining for people to watch. So if you've made it this far, and if you've made it this far, I apologize for not writing out a script. You'd think I'd start doing that at some point, but I like the discrepancy between me on a script and me just talking. It makes it feel very earnest, and it is. But if you've made it this far, I apologize for stammering and for being a wreck and not writing a script. But thank you for sticking around. I hope you look forward to some of the stuff that I've had, and I hope you enjoy the stuff that I've made in the recent months, and the stuff that I have cooking. And I hope you look forward to the next video. And I thank you for watching, and I hope you'll enjoy what's coming up next. So that's it for now. I gotta get back to work on, the next videos should be on schedule for next week. Should is the big thing there, because I'm kind of busy killing chaos, but hopefully I'll have the next video done by next week, and then I hope you'll look forward to what comes after that. So, happy anniversary to this channel. Here's to another year, and I'll see you guys next time.